We'll go on to page 13. You should see, it's a little easier to see on the screen, but what I did was, on the Hercules graph, you're looking at the strength at the moment in time. Oh, I have a pointer here. Yeah. We are high tech. Right there, okay? Right there. So at that moment in time, that's what the Hercules graph looked like. And there are going to be these gray areas where there might be some opportunity. What you have to resist is A causes B type of thinking. You have to resist where the Hercules graph was just starting to go up here. Okay? It was just starting to go up at that moment. Don't jump the gun. Because while this thing is playing out, the problem is we've already seen this graph, and I can point you to 2 studies where they took people and they showed them the result, and in every case, it influenced their decision. In other words, they went and rewrote history. I mean, all of us married people in the world know all about rewriting history, don't we? Well, you said that. No, I didn't. I said this. So we're going to do that in the marketplace. Wait for the signal. And what you'll see here is that as strength continued and weakness continued, you see the result. So what everybody wants to make is that, right? We look at this huge move up in the market, we say, yeah, that's what I want to make. That's the big money. Yeah, that's also when 67% of the time it's a guy like me trying to eat your lunch. Because I know all I've got to do is push it above that high right there by about 15 to 17 pips, sucker everybody in, and then my buying disappears. What we want to see this big move because the money is made for us right there. Right there. And we've got to get okay with that. We've got to stop counting the money right here. It's like watching the lifestyles of the rich and famous back when Robin Leach was on TV and counting their money. It's not your money. That's how I look at it. That is somebody else's money did that. And as a trader, I need to see that somebody else's money to verify that I have opportunity and it's not some guy in the other pond waiting to see some blood so he can swim over there, flop on, and start shooting me up. Because they'll do it. So there we go. I skipped one screen. Don't pick the hard ones. Look at that. I mean, what is that? That's a hard one. That is when we do this. Because that's most of the time. That's the frustrating thing about the markets. We want work, money. What we want is to be able to sit down in front of the screen and make money every time. I want a system where when I sit down, I'm going to make money. We want A causes B. System causes money. No, that's unfortunately not how it works. This is close. In other words, we now can start identifying these opportunities very, very quickly. Instead of the alternative, waiting for it to happen. It's either there or it's not. So let me back up one. I was talking about the discretionary trader. Let me give you another metaphor to hopefully put it in perspective. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you're someone that likes to tinker with stuff. You like to learn about things. This type of a discretionary system, which means, remember, where it's not fully laid out from A to Z, soup to nuts, as it were, right? It's just not laid out that way. You'll have most of it, and then it's up to you. Now, Hercules gets really close because, again, if it's not at or above 7 or at or below 2, or if you don't know, you don't go, right? So we know to a certain level, but it's not as mechanical as what Cecil is going to describe for you. Okay, so keep that in mind. There are some basic rules. A change of 1 point on our graph is going to be significant. That's a big increase in strength. It's also a big decrease in strength. So if you see something that has gone from 8.5 to 7.5, you better watch out. You want something that is either increasing rapidly or it's stayed strong for a while. It's where you get the big changes. Don't do it. And that might take a little bit longer. I mean, that might be this. Okay, so, I'm sorry, but that's a full work day as far as I'm concerned, right? I don't know why that cut off. Wait for the market to... If you're aggressive, and this will make sense later, you're waiting for the retracement just to the line. If you're conservative, you're waiting for the market to confirm. That's the only difference. And we'll talk about exactly how to do that. So here's an example of the easy one. We have the pound Swiss. I'll go for just another couple of minutes, and then we'll have a quick Q&A, and then it's almost lunchtime. You can see here the Swiss franc is strong, the pound is the weak one. Now the reason why I say that the researchers missed the big point is that to me says resistance. Why? See how the market's just probing up? Maybe not? Is there enough detail for you to see that? Okay. Or you can just trust me. Trust the guy in the suit at the front of the room. So the market's probing up. Well, what that normally as a trader, I would sit there and look at that. I would look at the market doing this, not going anywhere. The key is, where does it come from? Look at the... I'm calming myself down, I'm sorry. You see the moving average over here, the top one on the blue line? Okay, in the kit where I talk about the moving averages, the reason why a moving average is very effective is it just tells you where price came from. Now what this is telling me as a trader, I look up here and visually I see blue line is moving down, green line is moving down, red line has moved up slightly but is leveled off. What that tells me is in the past it was higher, and right now it hasn't gone much of anywhere. So that to me, as a discretionary trader, I'm going to distill 10 years of trading, blah, 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 into, wow, I bet you I can make some money there. Put the order up there, put the order down there, one buy, one sell, right? And wait. Well, what Hercules is confirming, okay, we've got strong line moving up, weak line moving down. It's supporting the decision. Again, on a short-term basis. It's telling me at resistance, most of the orders aren't going into the slots at the top. The orders are coming in at the slots on the bottom. So if they're coming in at the top, that means buying. If people are buying, that means price does what? If people are selling, price does what? So with all of that in mind, got blue line going down, green line going down, you get my... So it's just like a court case. I want to stack as many things on top of each other, and I'll just be candid with you to make myself feel better. Really. That's what we're trying to do. Because when you look at the math of it, well, I won't get into all it, but it makes us feel better. Okay? That's really what this is designed to do. It's to give us the confidence to get in there and take the trade. So, we'll go to lunch. And if you have some questions, we've got some time. So if you want to line up at the mics, we'll do that quickly, and then we'll head out to lunch. What I'm going to be talking about as we move along here, I call it really the tale of the two traders. And there was a famous letter from the Wall Street Journal that had the tale of two men. They both went to the same college, they both had the same opportunity, one was successful and the other wasn't. What was the difference? Now, of course, they were trying to make the point that it was the Wall Street Journal that made the difference. Well, what I've found is that when it comes to the wealthy, there really are some different things that they do. So I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've gleaned over the years from just working with these guys. I mean, I've traded for some people that were just fantastically wealthy. And they did think differently. They did do things differently to get where they were, or where they are. some of them where they were. Unfortunately, thanks to some guys like me over the years. But so we're going to talk about a plan. And how many of you would find it helpful if you had a system you could put on your desk which was guaranteed to keep you going to your goals and your aspirations?